What to do, gang? Mr. Keizo back at it again with another reaction gaming. And this time I'm not studying apologetics. I'm catching up with one of my favorite YouTubers. Been following him for a good bit now. He's been uploading great content, and he has also been dealing with a insane posse on the internet who has been after him. I made videos talking about this a couple months ago, and he's dropped the bomb. We're just gonna get into
I originally uploaded to this channel on June 9th. This video was mass reported and taken down by the same group of people which the video discusses, namely Maoist Landlord, aka Noah Gabriel Strickler, Westside Tyler, aka Tyler David Bell, UAE Falcon Finance, aka Bernard Robert Goldsmith, as well as Jacob Isaac Barretts, who goes by a number of pseudonyms, and Parish Neocon. I cannot imagine that this will be a violation of YouTube guidelines, as this video is currently being hosted on the platform by a re-uploader, without issue. If this video gets taken down too, guess what? I am going to keep re-uploading it. I'm going to keep re-uploading it until this channel is taken
Flesh
down.
Simulator,
and
go.
when that happens, I am going to be such an asshole about it. I am going to make this into the biggest PR disaster you have ever fucking seen.
Okay, go
Why?
ham, brother.
Because this deals with a network of child abusers and groomers and pedophiles for which this platform is currently running cover. It needs to be brought to light. It is going to be brought to light. I am going to do this regardless of the platform's wishes. So help me God. I'm in a hotel room. Why am I in a hotel room? Well, we'll get to that. You want a conspiracy video about a network of pedophiles? Well, here you go.
Let's go.
I have spent the last 3 months fighting for my career, reputation, name, and life in a Kafkaesque social hell from which there has been seemingly no escape.
True.
Well, guess what? I caught them. I caught them red-handed.
Yeah, boy.
I got to the bottom of it.
I've been rooting for him the entire time.
The fucking FBI is involved at this point. And guess what? This is going to be a long-ass video with a boring-ass first half because apparently I need to spoon-feed these events to you chronologically as they happened.
Dude, it's crazy. The gaslight, it's like PhD in gaslighting these people who are opposing him, because every time I check X and his, people are like, why are you getting upset with SpongeBob gifs? It's like, bro has to explain the SpongeBob gif, false narrative a billion times. And he's on such an autistic tangent, as in a good way, that he does it because he's literally fighting for his livelihood, because his YouTube is his livelihood, and they're trying to take down everything he owns and cares about, bro. It's crazy. It's insane. These people are actually in snark communities are legitimately need to be studied on how toxic they are, how the internet has made people so toxic. It's crazy. It's actually scary how toxic people are.
All right, anyways, we're going to try to only hit the salient points of the first year or so for sake of time, but pause this video and go pee and get a drink and get a snack, because we are going to be here for a while.
Okay.
We have to begin all the way back in January of 2025.
Just me accuracy. He was really trying to be nice.
So we're skipping the section that I originally had written, which was just absolutely interminable point by point of the full year leading up to all of this, and the inciting SpongeBob GIF incident. All right, really all you need to know for that is that I had a group of people A-logging me for a year straight. The whole SpongeBob GIF, doxing spree, rampage, whatever story that has been repeated, that's entirely false.
Yeah.
The only thing that actually occurred, the only actual thing that I posted leading up to this was one account who already posted pictures of himself, for the record. I grabbed a old, dumb-looking picture of him from his public Instagram, and I replied with that. That was it. That's the full extent. Now, enter Maoist Landlord.
Dude, that guy... Dude, Maoist Landlord has been a freaking thorn in his face.
Maoist Landlord,
not even his side.
Eigenkirkbot, nice name, a serial doxer responsible for multi-month-long harassment campaigns against Eigenrobot and Captive Dreamer, as well as fun little jokes like repeatedly telling people to kill the president, which, it's a big no-no. They don't like it when you do that. Turns up and starts spending all day long telling people that I have relapsed on benzos, as well as daring me to dox him and betting that I can't, and then going, look, guys, he doesn't know how to do it. Just a very annoying individual. I get irritated enough with him to tell him that, fine, I'm not actually going to dox you to everyone, but I am going to figure out who you are and prove it to you. And, he responds by taking this post and spamming it with he adds emojis to it and spams it as copy pasta. Like 100 times. Really, really irritating. Now, a Maoist landlord is such an ass that multiple other people at this point began trying to dox him. He's really being a dickhead. Nobody likes this man.
True.
Now, the relevant
my bad.
bit here is that basically just from scrolling back chronologically through his timeline, me and multiple other people reach a post with his old handle in it at roughly the same time. There is also a Letterboxd account with this handle. It is linked to the Spotify page for his music project. I check the credits, boom, game, set, match. Now, while all this is going on, I miss a post from him stating that he receives a DM from an account that claims to be representing a group that says they have 3 generations of my family's information, and he's threatening to release it. Now, this would have been useful to see when it came out, but I did not see this.
Very chill music in the beginning. It's gonna be. I'm betting by the end of this video, it's gonna be like so like dark techno, just evil 808s. I guess the best way to describe that. I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be. I like this. I like this music so far. It's gonna build up and it's gonna be great. Is the meme that he's using Mouse Landlord's own Spotify music against him during this? I don't know.
I stay true to my word. I do not dox Mouse Landlord.
Yep.
I instead post a video of a slow fade-in
of the stupid like the monkey thing. Crazy.
Set to Ariel Pink's Only in My Dreams for, at the time, contextually relevant reasons, of Mouse Landlord's
I really hope this video doesn't get taken down again.
Which was a still image of a monkey being tortured.
Yeah. Average.
Which is weird, but whatever.
Mouse Landlord
I figure that this is a good, non-identifying way to let him know that his goat has been gotten.
Facts.
I don't want to dox him. I don't want to put him on blast, but it's like, I know who you are, motherfucker.
Facts.
Here's your weird monkey torture profile picture.
Yeah.
What is his reaction to this?
He goes...
Is it, like, oh, damn, okay. Shit, you got hands. My bad. No, he responds by posting my last name and threatening to post my family's information and, quote-unquote, send them love letters. It is a reference to the 1986 movie Blue Velvet by David Lynch, in which Dennis Hopper's character, at one point, says, you know what a love letter is? A love letter is a bullet from a fucking gun, fucker. Obviously a veiled threat.
Goodness.
This is what the, later on, Izot Nuke, you're fucked forever is a reference to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that in Izot Nuke.
Not a lot of cinephiles here, I guess, or people who paid attention to what happened. Anyways, I tell him that this was probably the worst possible response he could have chosen.
Sure.
Then, in response to that, he posts the first names of multiple family members of mine and reiterates that he has been given a docs packet and threatens to release it again. I am like, okay, what the fuck is wrong with you? I reply to this with a picture of the inside of his house from Zillow, saying, like, you realize that I know who you are, right? You asshole. Like, I still haven't posted your info yet, but I have it. By this time, more people have cracked Maoist's terrible OPSEC and have begun posting pictures of him. He replies to me with a photo of my grandparents from their Facebook page, which was limited to friends of friends. This is a point that will become relevant later. In response to this, I post his LinkedIn headshot, that has already started circulating independently and tell him that he really ought to quit now, considering that he is a serial doxer with lots of enemies and he himself is on the precipice of getting doxed. He doubles down. I try to call him on the phone. No response. I say fuck it and go to bed. This was the first night.
Why is my game having Down syndrome?
I wake up around 10 a.m. the next morning. Not only has Maoist continued posting my information and family's photos, but he also got Hassan Piker's Twitch mod, Justin Colucci, aka Jake Chinatown, in on it, amplifying the info massively. Now, at this point, I deem it necessary to contact Maoist's mother, with whom he lives, to get her to knock some sense into her goddamn son.
Okay.
Because I am unable to call Maoist, because he is ducking my phone calls, I call her. I tell her that her son is a serial doxer, and if he does not stop posting my information and photos of my family, I am going to fucking sue him. She says her precious baby boy would never do that. I hang up. I text her the screenshots and proof of this. Now, Maoist instantly stops posting, presumably due to his mom super yelling at him. I tell everyone who follows me to stand down and to stop circulating any of his information. He does do that. I
did see it on X.
Whatever. Basically, just not to post anything. Just ignore him and move on. Let's let this sleeping dog lie. Whatever.
He really tried to move on from this a lot.
He stops posting. I'm just like, all right, guys, come on, drop it.
Yep.
This is an idiot. Now, at this point, I turn my attention to Jake Chinatown.
Pause.
I am primarily mad at this point.
I
hatch a plot to pull off a great 4D chess plan. I uploaded a encrypted text file with the password "he is red" for an amazing reason. This text file details my plans with the Izot nuke video. The idea here is that if I can get enough people to pretend that the weird, kind of lame, pointless gotcha of the Izot loss counter is some sort of devastating blow to Hassan, the pure pointlessness and just complete lack of effect being treated as like this grave social blowback will eventually goad him into crashing out on stream over his Izot, and I think that would be really funny. Following this, a couple of things happen kind of simultaneously. One, Maoist landlord buys the domain twitterdramawiki.com, and he writes a completely fabricated version of events, wherein I am a maniac going on a doxing rampage. I fully dox him for no reason. I call his family and threaten them. And he is the plucky upstart that starts harmlessly trolling me back and causing me to melt down in rage. 2. This video is used by a guy named Westside Tyler, a left-wing-ish drama slop tuber whose whole thing is basically doxing and bullying other creators. He uses this article as the basis for a hit piece video on me. 3. An account, Mark Harden 911, begins actively really pushing the narrative of this Westside Tyler video. 4. An account called Flesh Simulator, where the L in simulator is replaced by a uppercase I, created to look exactly like mine with the sans serif font, is used to post a bunch of stuff about how I'm a pedophile and I'm a racist. 5. Maoist somehow gets his hands on the unencrypted text file of, like, what I'm predicting for the Izot nuke. So that's, completely screws with the plans. Lovely. I had the aspect ratio set wrong. Anyways, I'm already too far into this to restart. At this point, Maoist is posting about 30 to 40 times per day about me and has reshaped the narrative completely to paint himself as the victim and myself as his weird stalker. I make the mistake of ignoring him rather than continuing to give him attention. This was a very big mistake. I try to privately reach out to Maoist and go,
I don't know why he did this, by the way.
Can we both just take down our posts about the other one and move on? I am flatly rebuffed. Now,
seriously,
the impersonator account continues posting. I sarcastically
quote, what did I say? The freaking music is getting more eerie. Pog. I love the way he formats his videos.
Tweet a particularly egregiously, obviously fake tweet with the caption, "Oh yeah, guys, follow my alt." You can tell it's me because he's afraid to actually say slurs. The next morning, I woke up to find that account has escalated to threatening to bring a bomb onto a flight out of Washington Dulles in order to kill Hassan Piker. So that could be an issue. I post hey, isn't this like 4 separate big boy crimes to impersonate someone in order to threaten to bring a bomb onto a plane as part of an interstate murder plot? Mark Harden 911 flips out at this and begins DMing me. A couple of things are revealed. He repeatedly asks if I remember him. I truthfully say no, which seems to anger him. Additionally, at one point deep into the argument, he says, "I've now talked to you more than I've talked to Maoist Landlord." And finally, he talks himself into a corner while defending the conduct of the impersonation account, and eventually gives reluctant and legally ambiguous acknowledgement that it was him. So, if we're keeping track, Flesh Simulator, the fake one, the bomb threat one, same guy as Mark Harden. Just keep that in your mind here. Now, next day, Westside Tyler proceeds to do a 4-hour live stream devoted to how to dox me. Westside Tyler is the guy that did the hit piece video. It was basically just defamatory nonsense and bullshit. Yep,
that's all right.
Following the live stream, release a shitpost diss track about Westside Tyler being cartoonishly enjoyed in jail. Now, perhaps this was unnecessary.
Who cares?
It was, however, very funny. They say they're calling him Walter Soul Tyler. I seen him holding another man's pocket. They're turning him inside out like a pocket. He is the raccoon and they're Davy Crockett. They say BT up look on his asshole. Strangers are trying to franchise his asshole. He paused to race right with only his asshole. I heard her putting things into his asshole. He did not
Flesh Sim is so funny.
Next day, Westside Tyler does another 4-hour live stream about how to dox me. Now, I notice a familiar name active in his chat. UAE Falcon Finance, aka Bernard Robert Goldsmith, a man whom I had been casual friends with for a while.
That guy is an op.
UAE Falcon Finance was in my roughly 30-person or so private inner circle Discord.
Yeah, that's
Turns
crazy,
out,
bro.
He was the one who leaked the plan to Maoist and is using his claim of knowing me to give Tyler fake info to for whatever reason. So UAE Falcon Finance then proceeds to organize and promote a meet and greet. Maoist Landlord shows up to DC, posse deep, and calls me a pussy for not showing up and attacking him and getting my head stomped in by like 5 other guys, and then arrested for. He was the one who leaked the plan to Maoist and is using his claim of knowing me to give Tyler fake info to for whatever reason. So UAE Falcon Finance then proceeds to organize and promote a meet and greet. Maoist Landlord shows up to DC, posse deep, and calls me a pussy for not showing up and attacking him and getting my head stomped in by like 5 other guys, and then arrested for assault. Like, come on, man. But anyways, at this point, ignoring Maoist has allowed him and Westside Tyler to create a popular narrative of me going on a just doxing rampage over being mad about SpongeBob gifts is the takeaway from this.
That's
first
literally
segment.
the
March
freaking
20th,
major
Maoist
gaslight.
uploads multiple of my videos in full onto YouTube.
All right. I'm really gonna say it. Oh, why is it muted too?
UAE Falcon Finance then proceeds to organize and promote a meet and greet.
Okay.
Maoist Landlord shows up to DC, posse deep, and calls me a pussy for not showing up and attacking him and getting my head stomped in by like 5 other guys, and then arrested for assault. Like, come on, man.
A lot of editing in this video.
But anyways, at this point, ignoring Maoist has allowed him and Westside Tyler to create a popular narrative of me going on a just doxing rampage over being mad about SpongeBob gifts is the takeaway from this first segment. March 20th, Maoist re-uploads multiple of my videos in full onto YouTube.
See, bro, I knew it. The way he formats his videos is
March
beautiful.
22nd through March 24th were essentially rock bottom with all of this. The sentiment towards me had become universally negative, and people
Which is
reached out
crazy.
my now ex-girlfriend, ex-common law wife, whatever you want to call it, to accuse me of being a pedophile, based on entirely fabricated allegations by 2, let's just say, very pot meat kettle individuals, as well as lying about me being the aggressor in this whole fiasco.
I made a video on this like a while ago.
This is the beginning of the end of our relationship. Now, March 24th, the cease and desist is set. Maoist is informed of this fact. March 26th, the cease and desist is delivered via certified mail and signed for by N. Strickler. I message Noah, that's his name, Noah Strickler, and ask him if we can move forward now. He is adamant that he didn't receive any mail. I send him the signature confirmation. He claims that it wasn't his address and that he has security camera footage of the mailman putting it in the mailbox without a signature. I ask him how he has access to the security camera footage if it wasn't his address and he doesn't live there. He blocks me from DMing him. Something to keep in mind for the rest of this video. Noah Strickler is very, very stupid.
That's so true.
Like, too stupid for PsyOps to work on.
So
which
true.
is kind of the problem. So what were these demands of this cease and desist that were so untenable to Mr. Strickler? The cease and desist requested that he take down my family's names and pictures, stop posting about my family and stop posting about me, and tell me who
what
he got
crazy
their
requirements.
private personal info from. And in exchange, I won't post about you anymore or sue you. Which I thought
That's
that
fair.
was a pretty fucking fair.
That's mega fair, bro.
Where it's just like, hey, can we just stop?
Literally.
You know,
Fletchman is such a nice guy.
Just take down the photos of my family and their names, and we can just not do this. That was apparently completely unacceptable to Mr. Strickler. He spends the next 15 days of the C&D grace period posting about me an average of 27 times per day. Yes,
Dude,
I count.
get a life.
He repeatedly accuses me of harassing him, despite my radio silence regarding him. He also accuses me of lying about sending a cease and desist that he never received, and repeatedly making claims about me having relapsed on benzos.
I don't know what that claim is.
He coins the nickname Temazepam Tommy for me. This is highly unusual, as Temazepam is a very, very uncommon and fairly obscure benzo that I happen to have been prescribed in college. It's not typically known for being a drug of abuse, and to my knowledge, I've never publicized the fact that I was formally prescribed this medication. So this is either a very, very specific, very, very lucky guess, or he's getting info from someone who knew me in college. It was that one. Spoiler.
Jeez.
Now, towards the end of the month
Bro,
of
what?
March,
Like,
I call it a
what?
loss, publicly announced that I'm taking the L, revealed the failed Izot nuke plan to the audience.
I do remember that. I saw that on
completed
X.
25 of the 27 steps, but, you know, didn't get the last two.
Yeah.
I make a post saying that Maoist
He was like,
me.
he was counting on Asmongold to cover it, and Asmongold didn't cover it, and he was like, dang. It didn't get as much attention as he wanted it to.
I owned the audience, and Maoist somehow got owned by the audience. I say that, you know, sometimes plans don't work out. I accepted the L, and I was going to get back to making videos and simply block Maoist and all the other people involved, as well as told my audience
remember
to
that.
just completely ignore them entirely. Did these people graciously accept my concession?
Nope.
No. The next morning, I woke up to an email from Spotify saying that an unknown individual had copyright struck my entire fucking podcast off of Spotify. Gladiodrome, the official podcast of the Deep State, on behalf of a fake Brazilian news network with a name that translates to Bald News.
It's kind of funny.
For allegedly infringing upon the entirety
funny.
of the Jordan B. Peterson show. This is what I mean when I say, no, I can't just ignore this.
True.
Every time I try this, they escalate this shit until I'm forced to respond by, like, bringing it into real life. Stop telling me that. I know.
Facts.
We're going to start only hitting salient points here, because if it's completely blurred together in my mind due to having to, you know, put out fires and quash disinfo and libelous rumors for 18 hours a day for the last 3 months. Okay, so we're hitting the Spark Notes points here.
Okay.
We've made it through a lot of the boring shit.
Maps of memeing.
Quash disinfo and libelous rumors for 18 hours a day for the last 3 months. Okay, so we're hitting the Spark Notes points here.
No.
We've made it through a lot of the boring shit.
Facts.
Early April,
Bussin'.
I see that one of the maybe 12 people that the imposter Flesh
Dude,
Simulator
look at that. He's really good with videography and photography, but like, why are, I don't know. This scene, it's like contrast of like black and white, so it looks like a checker. I don't know if he does. I don't know if he's thinking about that, but I don't know.
This is none other than C. Elegans, aka John Gilroy, a close friend of Jay's. This causes me to start mapping out which of these accounts follow each other.
When I saw him do the map, I was like, all right, it's war. Like, there's just like he's going full. I mean, it was war when they got his girlfriend to break up with him because they doxed her, and like he was like, we have to separate because of the crap that you're dealing with. And it's like, all right, that's pretty fair. Like, your girl's leaving you because like she's getting harassed at work and like doxed, and her family's getting doxed and like death threats. I'm like, all right, that's fair, but you guys really didn't do a good job because you just kind of gave him more time to spend terrorizing you guys and getting back at you guys for ruining his life. So good luck with that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do any of this stuff. I don't understand why you would hate on Flesh Sim. Like, bro, I don't I would disagree with him on political actions because he's a leftist. And like he has all of his fans are like, I don't know if they're major leftists or Democrats or anything like that, but like a lot of his fans are conservative, and he's like, I'm not a conservative. And he's like, and their fans are like, I don't care. Like, I don't care that he's not a conservative, bro. He's Pog. Like, I don't care. He's a cool guy. He's about truth, and he's about, you know, doing his own thing, and he's not. He wants to lock criminals up. That's based. W for wanting, you know, justice.
The results of this are very interesting.
Dude, this whole meme, crazy.
As it so happens, it appears there are actually two overlapping networks.
Yeah, like, look at that. Oh, it's crazy. Okay.
Networks. One involving Jake Chinatown, Mouse Landlord, and UAE Falcon Finance. And then another one centered...
Like, him, like, mapping out your internet ops for... on, like, a little, like, schizo board, respectfully. It's just the most Flesh Simulator thing I could think of, bro. Like, it's just like, what would Flesh Simulator do? He would map out his ops on Post-it notes, and then let's see where it links up. Like, that's just insane W for Flesh Simulator.
Around none other than Jay. Yes, that Jay. From the How to Conduct a PSYOP video. Yes. Solid Jay. This is something that, from what I can tell, he had really been working on obsessively since that video came out. Almost a full year ago. Jay was the only person to have my docs before all this started. So suddenly, the packet of 3 generations of my family's info that was given to Noah begins to make more sense. Knowing that Jay is behind a lot of this, and knowing how his brain works, I give another random account a credit. I say that they're the linchpin of this network, and likely the brains, rather than the one that obviously was Jay. You know, which was Mark Harden 911. This is obvious by the fact that it's the one right in the center that everything connects through, and also it had some weird, like, retarded red herring rabbit hole ARG designed to drive you insane, clumsily connected to it, which, I deftly sidestepped. Now, I make a post explaining this network, and who boy do the people on there sure not like...
Okay, wait, run it back real quick.
911. This is obvious by the fact that it's the one right in the center that everything connects through, and also it had some weird, like, retarded red herring rabbit hole ARG designed to drive you insane, clumsily connected to it, which I deftly sidestepped. Now, I make a post explaining this network.
Okay, so now we're getting into the fun bit. As best as I can tell, there are 2 main networks. Politics guys, green, older, nastier, more cautious, more vengeful. Most, if not all, have long-standing personal beef with me. Okay.
And who boy do the people on there sure not...
Okay, so these are the guys who are like, yeah, the pair of like follows mass landlords, vice versa. So like, he has one group of ops and another group of ops, and they came together to form the #1 Flesh Simulator hate group on the internet.
Not like being on there. They start acting like worms you're trying to pull out of dirt. Mark Harden 911, though, has a melty about not getting credit. He began Sephiroth posting about he was the one who ruined my career and top of me for being a chud, blah, blah, blah.
Got them. Got him. Played him. Dude, they play right into Flesh's hand. Dude, you can't mess with a guy who's homeschooled for one and then spent 8 hours a day for 12 years on 4chan. Like, you just can't do that. You just can't. You're cooked. This guy is a different human being. He's different. Just don't.
And how he did it from his office bathroom. Clue there that will be relevant later. Office, not university. Mark Harden 911 then tries to sell me access to this account for $4,000 in Bitcoin, presumably to cover his tracks and tie up loose ends by sort of coming up with like a plausible reason to get me to log into the account from my own computer, as well as also like fleece me for 4K, trying to tempt me with trolling the commies or whatever. He claims there is a group
Great camera angle right here. Beautiful.
this is not the chat I'm looking for. It's the wrong end of the network, but whatever, it'll buy me some time, as the mass-scale gaslighting is highly effective on people at this point still. I decline his offer to sell me access for
The slab squat and cutting off his head based.
$4,000. He asks what I would pay. I counter with $9. He accepts. I then post the chat log publicly to let everyone know what the deal is, and to show the messages about this supposed group chat and go like, see, I told you these assholes were coordinating. Now, this successfully gets some people to go like, oh, shit, okay, damn, he isn't crazy.
Dude, why would you ever think Fleshsim is crazy?
Importantly, the people in the real group chat know it's fake, but they can't acknowledge this. Many of them acknowledge it anyways, as they are very stupid. Around this time, Maoist puts out a wildly inaccurate 25-minute chat and go like, see, I told you these assholes were coordinating. Now, this successfully gets some people to go like, oh, shit, okay, damn, he isn't crazy. But more importantly, the people in the real group chat know it's fake, but they can't acknowledge this. Many of them acknowledge it anyways, as they are very stupid. Around this time,
ain't no way.
Maoist puts out a wildly inaccurate 25-minute documentary called We Are Maoist Landlord.
Cringe!
He has thoroughly disregarded the cease and desist. I credit him publicly with at least having been able to succeed at making a long-form video. It wasn't good, but he made it. And I privately reach out, conceding defeat and offering to let him take the W. And genuinely help him launch a YouTube career if we can just agree to a truce.
Crazy. Like, through all of this, he was like, let me help you make a YouTube channel. I'm like, bro, this guy is trying his best to just be so nice and so caring. It's just crazy. It is crazy how freaking charitable Flesh Simulator has been through all this. He has been so charitable. It's insane, bro. It's legitimately insane how nice he is through all of this. It's just, I'm baffled by how charitable he's being, but just like, goodness heavens almighty. I couldn't do it. Could not do it. All right, let's get back to it.
Now, at this point, I have resigned myself to just taking a massive, unfair, fucked up public L and rewarding the person responsible because I just want it to be over so I can go back to making videos.
True.
Maoist agrees to a ceasefire over the weekend. I give him a bunch of legit, real YouTube advice. Monday comes around. I wind up in a conversation with someone else about how terrible Twitter is about enforcing doxing rules.
True.
And in that conversation, I link to a post from the first night of all of this of a picture of my grandparents with the full names of multiple family members of mine, along with a threat to release more of their information. And just be like, damn, like, yeah, it's crazy. This shit's still up. Maoist sees this and instantly goes back on attack. He makes like 200 insanely nasty posts over the course of the next 2 days. At some point, Maoist learns from UAE Falcon Finance, a former friend of mine, as I have mentioned, that I have a history of focal seizures. Now, because Maoist is very, very, very stupid, he immediately began spamming me with strobe light images and the seizure jack, and telling me that I need an MRI. Focal seizures are different than grand mal, but, you know. After this, he proceeds to pretend to swat my parents. Classy. Now, we're nearing the end of April at this point. There is another Westside Tyler hit piece, along with a Chill Goblin hit piece. Yeah, great, bread tube. Following this, Maoist gets a 7-day suspension.
Good.
Now, presumably due to me not taking the bait and also wanting to add...
When does Nikita... I know I saw on X, Nikita gets like into this and like puts Fleshsim's case like high up on the chain of attention for X's community guideline violation things of like him being like, hey, these people are like doxing my family and doing all this stuff to me. When are you guys going to actually take, action against this? And Nikita literally was like, okay, I'm looking into this now. So maybe that's when he got that 7-day suspension. If I remember correctly. I don't know. I can't remember. Dude, I'm not as permanently online as this, respectfully. No disrespect to anybody like that. No disrespect to Flesh Simulator with it.
Ability in some weird moronic way. Mark
love his music,
changes his profile picture to a photo of my brother. Starts trying to get me banned from Twitter, claims I'm threatening him, and also starts posting fake names and addresses, claiming that they're him. Mark Harden 911 is finally banned for posting fake dogs, which is like, okay, so the real ones get to stay up, but anyways, as soon as this happens, with Malice suspended and Mark Harden 911, aka Jay, finally banned, I breathe a sigh of relief and start moving forward, eager to finally put this behind me and get back to making videos.
True.
We are at roughly April the 22nd at this point.
Okay, April. Got it.
Now, obviously this could not last. 10:17 p.m., April 22nd. Another name on the map, at SimpSpiden, makes a weird, evil monologue post claiming to be Mark Harden 911 and the Imposter Flesh Simulator account, the one that made the bomb threat and, you know, called me a pedophile,
Tyler,
whatever. And taking credit for having killed my career and finishing up with, but we all know who Mark Harden was all along, right? Let's just say I go by Jay. Deletes this, likely breathe a sigh of relief and start moving forward, eager to finally put this behind me and get back to making videos. We are at roughly April the 22nd at this point. Now, obviously this could not last.
Yeah.
10:17 p.m., April 22nd. Another name on the map, at SimpSpiden, makes a weird, evil monologue post claiming to be Mark Harden 911 and the Imposter Flesh Simulator account, the one that made the bomb threat and, you know, called me a pedophile and whatever. And taking credit for having killed my career and finishing up with, but we all know who Mark Harden was all along, right? Let's just say I go by Jay. Now, he then immediately deletes this, likely because he realizes, like, oh shit, wait, I just confessed to, like, a lot of, like, real, actual crimes.
Crazy.
I prayed to God to make my enemies ridiculous, and boy, did he deliver. April 23rd. SimpSpiden goes on another fake personal info spree. He gets banned for a week for posting personal info. One of the Dynamic Solutions guys does a regression on the syntax of Mark Harden versus all the other people in that little cluster, and SimpSpiden comes back as the closest match by a significant margin. So, cool. It sure looks like SimpSpiden and Mark Harden and Flesh Simulator, the imposter account, all three of those are the same guy.
Okay.
And he's claiming to go by Jay. Yes, we linear algebrized the op. Now, within 30 minutes of SimpSpiden
we linear algebrized the op, bro. Like, when I tell you these people are different, these people are different. They're insane. 30% charm, effect, duration, chop. What? Does it matter? Oh, charges gained, effects, duration. What the? Oh, I just choose. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, bet. All right. Back to the video.
Banned, a new account is created and shows up called March 15th, 2007. It posts two things, mostly. One, a picture of this weird skin Furby thing. And then two, a meme that's just a picture of me with the text, "Hi, I'm Thomas, and I was kicked out of the University of Maryland following a Title IX investigation." Now, what was weird about that was that despite the Title IX part being wholly fabricated, I was in fact kicked out of UMD for drugs. But this is the second time that something has been like, hey, wait, how did you know that? There are two other posts from this account that break the mold. One, early on, asking me, what, so you can get this account banned too? Which is a pretty clear indication, given it was created 30 minutes after SimpSpiden got banned, that this was also Jay. And then the other post. Eventually, after he, you know, spams me with
Okay, so it got so ominous. The background music has gotten so ominous. I love it.
Like, hey, you're a rapist meme, and then the skin Furby thing for like 12 straight hours, posting roughly every 5 minutes. He broke the pattern again.
How do you people do this? Seriously, I have no idea how people post so much on X. Like, I can post like maybe once a day, barely. Like, I just...
This time, he posted the job title and employer of my then common law wife, better known to you all as Mrs. Simulator.
Yeah, Mrs. Simulator
is not
we love
on
her.
social media whatsoever.
We love her.
She went to extraordinary lengths to maintain her anonymity. This info wasn't found, it was furnished by someone who knew both of us. That is not a long list of people. Now, at this point, it was pretty clear that things are about to go south here. So I revealed the one card I still had up my sleeve. You see, I knew who Jay was. So as a last ditch, sort of like, hey, there's still a chance for us to both walk away unscathed, I posted something that wouldn't mean much to anyone else, but would be immediately identifiable to Jay. About a minute after he posts Mrs. Simulator's employer and job title, I reply with a logo, the logo of his high school robotics team, which I had ready to go in case I needed it. The response was instant. For the first time in like 16 hours, the account stopped posting. Immediately. Good effect on target. I breathe a sigh of relief, and I think like, oh, okay, this war can stay cold. Like, cool, thank God.
For real?
That is not what happened.
Yikes.
Later that afternoon, my siblings and my mom receive a whiny, sniveling message from none other than Maoist Landlord, preemptively distancing himself from some crazy shit that's about to happen. Which, you know, that doesn't sound good. Crazy shit that's about to happen.
Doesn't sound good.
Which, you know, that doesn't sound good.
Yep.
It was not, in fact, good. About 4 hours later, there is a sudden onslaught of posts from accounts impersonating my sister, brother, mother, and then partner, with their face and full name and realistic bios, doxing their home addresses, their employers, spamming racial epithets, and disgusting sexual comments. I immediately began playing whack-a-mole with Twitter's report system. But because of the way reports on Twitter work, the reports just keep getting automatically rejected. Now, when I don't react, Jay does something to force my hand, which was actually really pretty diabolical. He uses an account pretending to be my brother and posts a photo of Mrs. Simulator along with her address and full name and says, "Someone should go rape this Asian kike bitch." He then begins to use other alts to link that post under posts from my brother's employer.
Bro, these people are in like unironically, you need help. You need to be banned off the internet permanently. You like if you do that type of stuff, you just don't. You shouldn't be allowed internet access. You were actually disgusting humans, objectively disgusting. This is horrible. What is wrong with you people? Literally, what is wrong with you people, bro? Oh my gosh. Literally, the depravity of man. Total depravity is insanely real, proven day by day. Oh my gosh.
Position, along with comments about these posts, things like, you know, I can't believe you would promote someone who privately posts racist, misogynistic, anti-Semitic filth like this. You know, fire him. So this is really a rock and a hard place situation at this point. Either I can ignore it and let my brother get promptly fired, or I can amplify the docs in order to get it taken down faster. And make it clear, like, no, this isn't real. I pick the latter. I stand by this choice. The post is taken down within minutes. However, then comes the chorus of baying, cackling, bloodthirsty communist retards going, I can't believe Flesh Simulator would dox his own girlfriend. We break up for good as a result of this. And later that night, someone comes to the apartment. Like, it's a fucking mess. While all this is happening, I noticed something. The photo of her was taken from the private Facebook page of someone named Daniel Zadarajny. This was my college bandmate. This is the missing piece. Jay and Dan know each other. That's where people are getting the info about me in college. That is how Jay doxed me
my
originally.
gosh.
Sour grapes from an old bandmate.
Oh my gosh.
Dan, if I see you, I am tuning you up. This is where the kid gloves come off. My only option at this point was to basically live out the plot of Kill Bill and start hunting down everyone involved in this entire goddamn network.
Fair enough.
So that's what I did.
The Bill killing is crazy, but based.
I immediately exercised my copyright protections to the fullest extent of the law on Maoist Landlord. It turns out that uploading multiple, full, unedited videos from another channel is frowned upon by YouTube. Here's where it kind of starts getting fun, and things start picking up. If you're still with me so far,
I'm with you, Flesh. I've been with you since day one, brother.
I first make my way to the Westside Tyler Discord
I never
server
switch up on Flesh, ever.
Around. I discover a channel called Flesh Simulator and his LOL cult. It has nearly 17,000 posts in it, going back months, solely dedicated to harassing me. These posts actually predate his videos on me. So, not only is this the 17,000 post Flesh Sim gang stalking channel I've long been theorizing, but we have a drama YouTuber who is making videos and profiting on making fun of people's crash outs that his Discord server is engineering.
That's insane.
One post in this channel catches my eye. It's from Maoist Landlord.
Oh boy.
He's saying that he intends to record a phone call to me without my consent.
Sick.
And because, again,
Maryland, right?
Maoist is what? Very, very stupid.
Correct.
He admits that he knows I am in Maryland now.
Maryland!
But thinks that because Virginia is a one-party consent state,
that doesn't work with two parties.
People in Maryland.
Nope.
That is not how that works. Now, this is a thread that we will pick back up on in a second.
Okay, I remember that meme.
Gonna tab over to Bernie again.
Crazy.
Bernard Goldsmith, UAE Falcon Finance.
Oh, this guy. I hate, dude.
People
so cringe. He's literally number one
and
op.
is responsible for a great deal of the escalation.
True. He's an op, bro.
He evidently backstabbed me as thoroughly as he possibly could.
True.
For no clear reason.
Literally.
I think he was jealous he didn't get to be fourth mic on my podcast.
Imagine like destroying your destroying a whole friendship over a podcast.
Despite having been disbarred, a fact which he does not disclose to them. Around this time, I made contact with a former partner of UAE Falcon Finance who reveals that he employed the exact same strategy of betrayal, doxing, defamation, and gaslighting in an attempt to discredit her, to attempt to prevent anyone from believing her after she came forward with a number of disturbing allegations about his conduct. My experience with this has, in my eyes, validated her claims completely, as he did the exact goddamn same thing to me. And the only reason it didn't work in my case was that I had 70,000 people ready to back me up when I called bullshit on him.
True.
Follow her on Twitter at House of Leaves MD if you're curious to know more of the sordid details. If anyone deserves to have their credibility restored and refreshed, I'm going to begin trying. Thinks that because not disclosed to them, copyright claims were false. Ability restored and refreshed in light of what I made contact with a former partner of UAE Falcon Finance who reveals that he employed the exact same strategy of betrayal, doxing, defamation, and gaslighting in an attempt to discredit her, to attempt to prevent anyone from believing her after she came forward with a number of disturbing allegations about his conduct. My experience with this has, in my eyes, validated her claims completely, as he did the exact goddamn same thing to me. And the only reason it didn't work in my case was that I had 70,000 people ready to back me up when I called bullshit on him. Follow her on Twitter at House of Leaves MD if you're curious to know more of the sordid details. If anyone deserves to have their credibility restored and refreshed in light of what has been kind of raked up from the deep, it's her.
Yeah.
Now, back to Maoist wiretapping me. On the evening of April 26th, into the very early morning of April the 27th, around midnight, Maoist calls me from a Google Voice number, basically to cover his own ass regarding the giga-doxing, as well as to try to clumsily trick me into acknowledging fault and saying that the valid copyright claims were false. So that didn't really work.
Nope.
But the one thing he does accomplish is that in his attempt to run cover for Jay, he acknowledges that he had a brief conversation with his main account, at the Hague_ICC, the same day that Mark Harden mentions only having briefly conversed with Maoist. Oops. Now,
building connections.
Following this, I had enough proof and evidence, I would say, to feel comfortable just starting to go get people. Here are their fates.
Really, it's more like that part in Casino 1997. I don't know any movie references.
Maoist Landlord aka Noah Gabriel Strickler, has been permanently banned from Twitter, and more seriously, permanently banned from YouTube. For flagrant and repeated copyright violations.
Massive
Unfortunately
W.
for someone so obsessed with gaining clout in a media career, he turned down an offer of having a big channel help kickstart his own career, and instead picked never being allowed to have a YouTube channel, ever.
Facts.
Now, he filed a counterclaim. Unfortunately, he filed it from the same address that he previously claimed not to be able to receive mail at.
Ooh.
So, I hired a process server to serve him at the address that he apparently can now receive mail at. Serve him what? Another settlement demand. You see, because Mr. Strickler is very, very stupid, he posted a recording of his phone call to me. Now, what he did was he claimed that this was simply a reenactment based on his eidetic memory, where all of my responses are just him reading the exact word-for-word transcript of what I say, but just in like this weird gay crying voice. Did he overdub the whole call? No. He was lazy. He tried to just roughly clip out and replace me talking in the original recording. But all of the audio of him is the original recording, complete with me trying to talk over him or interject, still included.
Nice.
You can hear me. Like, he goes to the trouble of faking half of the phone call instead of just re-recording his own lines. You can hear that here.
School I'm not part of. So I posted, Flesh Simulator is once again spreading threats to a school I'm not connected.
Spreading threats?
Yeah, you're inside.
They call him the Mind. Anyways, Mr. Strickler, you have been sent a settlement demand that I strongly advise you to accept, because otherwise I'm going to be suing you for $1 over your knowing violation of the Maryland Wiretap Act. That is a felony.
Oof.
Why would I sue you for $1? It's a surprise. Next was Jake Chinatown, aka...
Dude, he's taking heads, brother. This is some Vlad the Impaler type thing. He's putting heads on pikes right now, brother. Y'all are cooked.
Justin Michael Colucci. He got exposed for threatening to dox e-girls if they ignored him, and completely roached the fuck out after I responded to his most recent piece of shit talk with photos of the inside of his house, and also with the floor plan of his house.
Yikes.
And I also drew an X where his desk chair was.
Yikes.
Who's next? Base Moral Fag. Base Moral Fag bet me his soul that I would not be able to pass a drug test on the spot. I pissed in a cup on camera. I passed the drug test. I won his soul fair and square, and I have turned him into a Memphis rap sigil. We will hear that at the end of this video. Parish Neocon was turned into Cornjack. UAE Falcon Finance, aka Bernard Robert Goldsmith, aka Martin Random, responded to his most recent piece of shit talk with photos of the inside of his house, and also with the floor plan of his house. And I also drew an X where his desk chair was. Who's next? Base Moral Fag. Base Moral Fag bet me his soul that I would not be able to pass a drug test on the spot. I pissed in a cup on camera. I passed the drug test. I won his soul fair and square, and I have turned him into a Memphis rap sigil. We will hear that at the end of this video. Parish Neocon was turned into Cornjack. UAE Falcon Finance, aka Bernard Robert Goldsmith, aka Martin Random, aka Communist Waluigi, lost most of his fan base after another person whom he had doxed, harassed, defamed, discredited, and gaslit in the exact same manner he did me, reached out to me and explained more about his past. It has since been widely revealed that he is a disbarred lawyer who has admitted to spending multiple months as an adult while he was in law school involved in the distribution of child sexual abuse material.
So he's 14, right? He's like, okay, compile. All right, can anybody here help me host, right? So he's just like soliciting people. And so he solicits this one pedophile who's like, I will host everything in exchange for you having a lolicon board. And that was the deal, like, until like month 3 or 4, when I finally got us to go like, hey man, no.
In exchange for web hosting. Really weird. Really, really creepy. Westside Tyler was made aware of this fact and adamantly defended him. Now, unfortunately for Tyler, UAE was then immediately caught grooming a 15-year-old, whom he instructed to recruit others into a cell, and who was very excited to come live with him on his weird, like, asbestos-filled rape compound out in Nebraska. Both UAE and the 15-year-old are still in Westside Tyler's Discord to the best of my knowledge. Jay, aka the Hague_ICC, aka Mark Harden, aka Simps Biden, aka Thomas Gant, not me, that's just the handle he used, aka Samuel Simulator, aka Slow Simulator, aka Flesh Simulator, aka Karen Sifulator, aka Dale Edward 21074, aka Pissfet 69420, aka March 15th, 2007, aka Jacob Isaac Barretts, appears to have been temporarily driven insane after he learned that A, I was able to connect his alts together via linear regression, B, that due to Mr. Strickler being too dumb to run cover correctly, I was able to connect that to his main account, at the Hey Guy CC. C, that I knew who he actually was in real life. D, that I revealed that the respected researcher, Jay the neuroscientist specializing in cybernetics and eye tracking, who was going on podcasts to talk about that, was in fact a 26-year-old software engineer at a defense contractor selling AI targeting tools to the military. However, that 26-year-old curiously does, however, have a stepfather, Dr. Jay Edelman, who is a professor of neuroscience specializing in cybernetics and eye tracking. E, that I revealed this info to the public in the form of a diss track. And F, that after learning that his prior engagement with me, where I trained an AI based on his writing and got him to publicly bully it for months, resulted in him developing a persistent AI phobia and paranoia, I dropped the diss track by telling him I had Grok generated based on what it knew about him.
Yeah. I just would never want to mess with Flesh Simulator ever.
That is fucking elementary school Neopets account name in there. Anyways, Jacob, I am really suing you. In fact, someone actually reached out to me to dime on you in exchange for immunity. That sucks.
That sucks.
Good luck. Finally, Tyler David Bell, aka Westside Tyler. After being caught sheltering pedophiles in a server that allows them access to children, as well as operating a 17,000 post channel dedicated solely to harassing me, has since completely restricted his Discord and turned off the ability to see prior messages.
Nice.
Luckily, I've scraped him.
Oof.
Unfortunately, one of his followers appears to have accidentally outed him as a FBI informant.
Oh.
Oops. Hate when that happens.
Learning the hard way, deleting his Discord actually counts as spoliation of evidence.
One of us never forgetting this rumors were filed news he spread like a tumor. I heard that Tyler did not spell subpoena. I heard that Tyler is guilty of war crimes. The FBI gave him all Gentile words. His lawyers also cannot spell subpoena. Tyler pleaded by new Agent Zero.
He didn't do nothing but schema and laxity.
Tyler Bell is an FBI informant.
My wizard turned his penis into a peppermint.
Sexual slavery garnishes Lincoln's slavery factory.
There have been Chechens relentlessly breeding, bribing the guards so that they do not feed. We're giving Tyler mad body dysphoria.
Sending him info right into his neural.
Scramble his brain till he just says his name.
Turning this data into a Pokemon. One of his boys legit groomed a 15-year-old being just into an egg. You get people. Tyler said it's okay if it's cool, but I am not joking. He publicly said this. Why the fuck are you so cool with a predator? It is because you are also a predator. And you run a Discord full of predators.
I heard that Tyler is also a Redditor.
Westside Tyler has not responded to requests for comment on this matter. To Tyler, you backed the wrong horse. It happens. I don't really have any continued personal enmity towards you. Hopefully, however, you will revise your business model, and hopefully our paths never again shall cross. To Jacob, you scare me. You are an unstable, vengeful lunatic. Props, you cost me a 10-year relationship. I will see you in court. To Bernie, you know what you did, and I will leave your punishment to God. And finally, to Noah. If you had just taken the dub when I offered it,
literally,
and, taken down the pictures of my family and their names and whatever, you would have a rapidly grown YouTube channel and your original Twitter. And people would still like you. They would think of you as the guy who took Flesh Simulator down a peg.
True.
But you just couldn't help yourself. You just had to go for the Mortal Kombat humiliation and fatality. But you choked on the combo input, and you weren't prepared for me to get up and stop pulling my punches.
True.
You have been banned from YouTube for life. And believe me, they enforce that shit. Your band is now a footnote on the story of you being a weird bitch and annoying the shit out of everyone. Anthony Fantano deleted his retweet of your band after looking deeper at the situation. You are forever known as an obese serial doxer and a sniveling narcissist who publicly aligned himself with a child sexual abuse material distributing groomer and an FBI snitch drama vulture. In your blind wrath, you took the one thing that you cared about, your entertainment career. And it's almost as if you fucked it. There's a movie that reminds me of. It's called Old Boy. I'm better!
Absolute cinema. How does he do it? How does he do it? Special thanks to everyone at Dynamic Solutions House of and especially everyone who really gave me that too. Yes, sir. W. Bless him to go, bro. No cap. He's literally the GOAT. Anything else? Okay, that's it. Pog huge. All right, thanks for watching. Basic. I mean, you heard it here first, folks. He literally cooked them, put him in the grave, poured cement over him, then built a lemonade stand, served it out to all of his friends, and then they all died of cyanide poisoning. Basically, he took all of his ops, categorized his ops, mapped out his ops, and Bill killed them. Like, you just don't mess with it. There's certain people you just don't mess with. Flesh Simulator is one of the people you just don't mess with. And W Flesh Simulator, always been a fan, always will be a fan. I stand in your corner, brother. Even if we disagree on things, you're still the GOAT. All right, love you. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.